Something I'm particularly proud of is that we've generated a presentation that we've now given 3 times, actually 5 times, in fairness, once the school community going to do it again. But it is how to build wealth. And I really do believe there is a process that's 1, 2, 3 to do that. But what I want to do here is get the collective wisdom of the 3 amigos. We have all been on our different journeys to get to financial freedom. So I would love to get their insights, their opinions, and have them kind of riff on just a few of the slides. This slide deck, I think, is about 40 slides. I think we'll look at 5 or 6. But Dion, Matt, thank you for being here today. Dion, you were first. What's going on, man? How are you?
No, I'm excited to be here. I look forward to these calls every week. This is my tribe.
So. This is how I know it's Wednesday, because I got my boys on the phone. I know when Wednesday happens.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great. I was walking around yesterday going, don't I have something today? I was like, no, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Yeah, that one thing, right? You put on the calendar Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So we should be, in fairness to the audience, you gentlemen have seen this presentation. You actually helped me build it, for the, I don't know, 300 hours I invested in this, whatever it was. But I'm just going to pull it up. You guys will let me know if you can see it, because sometimes I'm technology challenged. But let's bring it up, and we will get through it. So hopefully you can see it now. Can you see this?
Yes.
So this is like slide number, what is it? Slide number 6 of this deck. But I actually think it's the most important, because I think this is where wealth begins. And it's frankly something I didn't understand until I was 31. And it is something that you can't, in my opinion, can't build wealth until you understand this. The rat race is real, as the slide says, but more importantly, it's about the size of the green wheel, right? To me, the green wheel is everything. This deck is anchored on that green wheel, because the green wheel is variable. To me, the green wheel is, what does your life cost? And, the bigger the wheel, or the more your life costs, the bigger the wheel. And, as you shrink, needs versus wants, the analysis we do on this, it really is everything. So Matt, we'll actually go to you first on this one. You heard me give this talk. We talked about this slide probably for 5 minutes. What do you think of the notion of the rat race is real, and it's important for every adult to understand the size of the wheel?
I'm going to pull a Dion. I looked at this very differently.
Okay.
I looked at it and said, he's exactly right. It is about the green wheel. And I think that's what people miss is, how big do you want the green wheel to be? And so for my entire life, for all of my investing career, I always wanted a massive green wheel.
You know what? That's actually a very interesting take. Because I remember when we did an analysis like 3 years ago about what do you want life to cost, right? Yeah. Low end, medium, and high end. And your high end was higher than anybody I'd ever interviewed by like 3x. So, I mean, you were standard deviations away from quote unquote the normal. So tell us more. Again, you could look at this as sacrificing, but you can also set up a life that's just a massive green wheel.
Yeah, well, I think where people stumble is the effort that they're willing to put in to get the green wheel that they want.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dion has the green wheel that he wants. He loves the green wheel that he has. His green wheel allows him to talk about taking vacation a lot.
Yep.
And soon taking vacation. And so, but he gets to, winters in exotic places, chasing scuba and diving. I'm sorry, I'm taking all your stuff, Dion. But we know Dion that well. We know that that's what he loves. We know that that's what keeps him going. And he's more than happy based on his lifestyle that he has, him and companion to go do whatever. And I think that only requires a certain size wheel. And he was smart to build his wheel 3 to 4 times larger than what he needed on a monthly basis.
Yep.
I agree with the concept of 3 to 4 times what I need on a monthly basis. The problem is what I need on a monthly basis is about 4x what Dion needs on a monthly basis, because I got 4 kids and a wife that doesn't work. A real job, a traditional job. Yeah. So that's where I think that people just need to consider, you can have it. The concept of the wheel is right. The concept of the rat race being real is correct. The issue is that you have to, if you want a massive green wheel, your W-2 for 99% of people, your W-2 is not going to get you there.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Love that. Deanne, what was your thought when you heard this? What do you think of when you look at this picture?
So I think this is an opportunity to point out that while in the image he's getting off the green wheel,
Mhm.
the majority of people first don't realize they're on a wheel,
Right.
and that's why they never get off it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Agreed.
And again, the wheel is, it's hard to represent in a picture, is variable, right? The biggest thing that got me for my first, decade of real work was, as I got a raise, I just naturally increased the size. I let the thing grow, and the bigger the wheel, the more painful it is if it stops, right? If you're in you're in the Silicon Valley, you work at NVIDIA or one of these AI companies, and you're pulling 500 grand a year, and then lo and behold, you get laid off, a year from now, and you go to zero. That lifestyle is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than a little.
More than a little. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's jump ahead, Dion. We're going to go to you first. This is actually the slide that I start with. It's like, hey guys, if you want to get wealthy, this is where it starts. So hopefully that changed for you. Did that change? Maybe.
I mean,
Maybe not.
So if you want to get wealthy, this is where it starts, turning money into assets.
No, you got to believe it's possible. I didn't know.
Right. Understanding it's, yeah.
Yeah. So again, hopefully the slide did move, but this is where it all begins. Even before the action steps of 1, 2, 3, this is step 0 for me. And the reason I had this slide in there, Dion, is there's so many people that just seem to have given up. They've adopted the doomer mentality. The system is against me. I can't do it. Blah blah blah. Whatever the reason is, and again, as I always say, I'm not in the convincing business. To our analogy, I'm not in the parking lot. That's where you play, right? I want to deal with the people that know it's possible. Then we can get them somewhere.
And this is where a lot of people's algorithm kind of screws them.
Amen to that.
They go on YouTube University or on Rumble, and they start looking up, how do I educate myself on real estate? And so not only do they maybe think it's not possible, they're going to be inundated with, it's not possible now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more. What do you think, Matt? Do you think it starts here? Do you got to have belief, or do you think you can just jump in half-ass?
I'm broken, so I'm a horrible example. I don't doubt myself. I just never doubt myself. If it's something that I want, I just figure out how to do it. I realized what my problem was. It was really funny. Just being very transparent. I'm talking to a Bigger Pockets executive, at the event. And he's like, so you're really successful and it's all really good and this, that, and the other. And he's like, and so, what's the next goal? And I go, honestly, the next goal is get on Bigger Pockets.
Yeah.
That's the next goal. Let's get, I don't have another real estate goal. I might shrink. I might grow. Mm-hmm. The people confuse it far too much with getting in the numbers when you have no clue what you're talking about with the numbers. It doesn't matter. Doers do. And losers talk. And so I'm a doer. And so I will reach out and I'll ask a bunch of questions, but I'm motion creates emotion, and you're moving and you're taking steps and you're doing the next thing. And so it was like, I didn't talk about for months and months and months having a YouTube channel. One week I didn't, the next week I did. Mm-hmm. It was that simple. I'm just a doer. And the luxury that I have is that I'm a horrible judge against myself, but the luxury that I have is that I don't care about failure does not faze me. I'm too stupid for failure to faze me. People fail at one thing and they're just like, oh, I failed. Yeah. And again, and again, and again, and again. And do you know why? That's why many corporations hire D1 athletes. Mm-hmm. They might be dumb as a box of rocks, but they will hire them because they recognize it's tens of thousands of hours to become elite at something. And they put in the time, effort, and energy and commitment to become elite at something. And that's why they hire them. They don't hire them because they're super smart. They don't hire them because they want more football stories or lacrosse stories or gymnastic stories. They hire them because their life track record shows a level of commitment to attaining an accomplishment or goal.
I love that you went there, because that's our very next slide that hopefully is now sharing.
Yes.
And this is actually step 2 of the wealth building formula, but it is becoming elite. And I want to highlight here, I don't really care what you become elite at, right? It would be good if it's around your passion, your interest. Obviously my becoming elite meant a buy box that was very, very granular down to a zip code and asset type and size. In the event and presentation since then, I've talked about you without naming you becoming an elite investor in vintage sports cards.
Mhm.
Again, you can become elite. And when you why isn't becoming elite important? It's because when you are elite, you can see value before anybody else. You can either
Sure.
see mispriced or you can see
Yes.
opportunities to increase value. And these take hours, hundreds, thousands of hours, but
Yes.
it's worth it, right? Step 1 is create discretionary income. Step 2 is elite. So, just talk about the importance of becoming elite. I don't give a shit what you become elite at. There is somebody making real money in whatever you want to do. Just go do that. What do you think, Matt?
Farts in jars. Not joking. Farts in jars. There's a woman out there that sells $1,000 farts in jars.
I did not
That's
know
it.
that.
That's it. $1,000 farts in jars. And I look at examples like that because she has become elite, maybe not at gassing, but just at marketing something that clearly people want. It amazes me, but she became elite. She made over 6 figures last year doing this activity.
Wow. All right.
I mean,
Again, that's a great story. Again, you never know. There's people making money doing all kinds of things.
yes, hey, listen, you said elite at something.
Yeah,
that is something and
No, it
nothing
is.
all at the
Agreed.
same time. It's ridiculous. But she made, how many people out there don't make 6 figures and they're killing themselves and all she's doing is farts in jars. Like there's opportunity for everybody and keep on searching that opportunity, but you have to do the work, and 1 or 2 weeks or a month of trying something
not enough.
Doesn't work.
No, I couldn't agree more.
So-
That's a big thing for me. I'll go to you in a sec, Dan. The other thing about becoming elite, to me, is you don't diversify, right? You got to get hyper focused on your thing. Don't try to do 12 things. Do that later in life. This whole 7 streams of income nonsense that millionaires have, they don't start that way. It's hyper focused. Sorry, Dion, go ahead.
Well, this is an opportunity for the warning.
Do it.
Most people are elite at something. Few people monetize it. Few people focus on something that can be monetized.
Great point.
How many people do we know that I've got a friend that crochets? Like she's like the Beanie Baby size crochet. I don't know what she does. Fills rooms with it. Could do an Etsy store. Could do it. Not going to. Just enjoys the crocheting. You're talking tens of thousands of hours to become a master at a skill I have no interest in, but other people are. Not going to monetize it.
Yep.
There are people. I'm a gamer. I turned it into a side hustle. There are millions, if not hundreds of millions, of gamers who don't. It's my release. It's my relaxation. It's my electronic income reducer. That's basically what it turns into. So if you're going to become elite at something, think it through.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. All right, the next slide that I think is important. Again, we are not the get rich quick crew, but we are the get rich or get wealthy for sure. I just always have to highlight that step 3 is a 10-year sacrifice for 50 years of freedom. This is it, folks. I mean, we have evidence now. We've been doing this stuff together 5, 6, 7 years. We have people in our community that have since retired, right? Obviously, they started the journey before they knew us, but have completed it while knowing us. And this works. And I just never want to be unclear, right? It is a 10-year journey. And as you'll see in a minute, the first 5 years suck, but you can really earn that freedom of decades. And Dion, you always talk about, right? You're going to be alive in 10 years, invest like it. So talk about this slide, Dion.
Well, the most common question I get whenever I bring this up is, but could you do it sooner?
Yeah.
The idea is you can increase the risk of failure to try to do it sooner.
Sure.
So how much risk are you willing to tolerate? And when people say, if you started today, what would it take? I still go 10 years.
10.
Even with the knowledge and the experience of what I have, I would make a 10-year plan. Would it happen?
You need time to compound.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Well, you all not only need time to compound, but you also need time to learn your lessons, get a lead, take your licks, have your losses.
Yep.
The thing that I've always equated every business to is that people are shocked and they go out of their mind when a 6-year-old company fails. Do you know it's 6? I equate them to children.
Yeah.
You're shocked that a 6-year-old failed at doing some massive task. I never would have guessed it.
Yeah.
And so that's why at 10, it's like, okay, at 10 years old, it has a level of responsibility. It has a level of maturity. It has a level of, not shitting its pants, and being able to get its own drink and being able to sit at the table and be well mannered and, and carry on conversation with adults. At 10, it's doing things that at 2, it cannot do. You are just fussing, whining, and filling your diaper at 2.
Right.
And so go ahead, Dion.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead. So I was just going to say, so I think for me, I equate it to, it's much like, growing businesses is much like raising children, and they do certain things at certain phases. And while they might be super advanced in one area, they might be dragging down in other areas. And those are the areas that you have to at least become functional in order to be able to grow.
Yeah. Love that. Dan, you want to say something about this one?
So I think the challenge with this slide is most people are going to focus on the 10 years, the 5 years of suck. The challenge is how can you make it faster? And so my content, what I do is I try to get people to focus on the 50, focus on the outcome, because then the 5 to 10 years of suck are worth it.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. This is the one that's always important to me. And it's really because I'm around a bunch of entrepreneurs, right? You live in Vegas, you get around these guys who are just killing it, being entrepreneurs. And it always bothers me that entrepreneurs are quote unquote celebrated in social media where, I've never been one or never felt like I was one, just an employee who did what they did. And I just need people to reorient, right? Your job is not a prison. It's the key to the future. Matt?
Yeah. Dion had a great post on this on social.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yesterday, guys, check it out. Dion Talk Financial Freedom, but it was a great post. Tells you really all that you need to know about it. What was interesting is I had somebody post something after my conversation or what I talked about the weekend being about, and Dion and your story and my story. And he was like, my dad's 74 and he loves his job. And so based on this report, he should be dead and blah, 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 blah. And so he still thinks he's successful. And I was like, listen, you infant, he is successful. But if you asked him today, would you like to go do whatever you want to do every single day and not have to think about money? He would pick something else, you moron. Everybody does. There's facets of their job that they love, and there's facets of their job that they hate. Nobody loves everything about their job. And again, the key is you can have those days. Don't tell me that you don't have a day where you're literally like dreading waking up the next morning because you got to go do a bunch of suck things at work. Give me a break. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to everyone else. And we know you're full of shit. So stop lying. It is what it is. I get it. We all loved our jobs. We all loved our jobs. Zub wasn't expecting that to be his last day. Nope. Dion did it just to piss me off and retire before me. And he wasn't expecting that to be his last day. And me, I then took an opportunity to make it my last day. But still was the night before I walked out of my office and I told my wife, I'm done. I'm done in my heart and I'm done in my head. I'm done both at the same time. And now it's ready. Now I'm ready to move on. We did what we needed to do. And now we're ready to move on. And I have not, and I won't put words in your guys' mouths, but I have not missed my old job for a millisecond. Not even for a millisecond.
Yeah. So I did miss it, as I've talked about earlier. I got very depressed. But the moment I was in Taiwan in the back of that van, listening to Graham Stephan talk about his 4 rentals or whatever it was, that was the moment that it clicked for me. And that's the instant that One Rental at a Time was born. I didn't know where we would go with it. But once I had that new passion, that new thing, dude, I never looked back, never even thought about it again.
Yep.
Dion?
So there's 2 things about the job, is the thing that sets you free. The first is on Matt's point of the guy's in his 70s and super loves his job and everything. Zuber's dad convinced you as a teenager that he was going to work until he died, and you were super proud of that, like cheering.
Yeah, oddly thought that was noble.
And so that's a mentality that is brainwashed into us until you wake up one day. And the second thing is, last night during my live stream, I had a very friendly argument with Beth Traverso about being an entrepreneur or not. And because
Ah,
she's an agent and her husband was a contractor,
Yeah.
and like they're very entrepreneurial, and they acquired rentals.
Yeah.
And so my position was, I'm not an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
and I didn't think of it in the time, but the way I put that is, if I lost everything and started over tomorrow, it would be with a job.
Oh, me too. 100%.
And the job with the bankability, the saving, and the working on the credit score, and then acquiring properties one rental at a time over the next decade. It
Mhm.
wouldn't be go out and become a real estate agent. It wouldn't be out and go do flipping or wholesaling or anything like that to generate capital. It would be go get a job.
Yeah.
And that job is what set me free.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. That's actually a really good mental twist. Let's just assume you lost everything. What would you do? I'm guessing I know for one certainty I'd go get a sales job again. There's no question. Probably sales leadership. And then Matt, you're the one that I think about going, you might just go start something. What would you do if you just woke up tomorrow and it was all gone? Would you get a job or would you just go be an entrepreneur?
I start something every day.
Yeah.
Usually a fight with somebody. Start something every day.
That's funny.
I don't think I would get it would really depend on like what the circumstances were, right? Like if I had to find out a way to put food on the table, I can sell anything. So
Right.
I would go and, figure out getting food on the table first.
Got it.
And
makes sense.
then just kind of build out from there. But it's just like anything. I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I'd be
I
fine.
love that.
I'd be back in my spot probably within 3 to 5 years. I'd be back in the same spot. I could rebuild it
Nice.
again. I could rebuild it a whole lot faster.
Nice.
So
Very
yeah,
cool.
I think that, like I said, entrepreneurs are damaged.
Yeah.
We're damaged. Like
Yeah.
I have more ideas than I could ever build in my lifetime,
Yeah.
and I have to make sure that it's an idea for a period of time, like a significant period of time before I move on it. Because
Gotcha.
I'm like, I want to be able to be committed and do it and finish it. And I don't want to become entrepreneurs' biggest issue is unfinished projects.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like they're just
Love
like, yeah, I've got 19 companies, and how many of them are actually still
Yeah.
companies?
And 18 are losing money.
Yeah.
They're
How
not
many?
committed.
Well, how many actually file a tax return?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
3. Okay, then you actually have 3 companies. You don't have 18.
I like that. All right. Dion, this one's for you. This is, this was an important one for me to get in. I never want people to forget this. I think lots of people preach, get rich quick or instant or easy button or any of that. And I never want to forget that building wealth is absolutely possible. You absolutely have to believe, but never lose sight that the first 5 years suck. It's dirty. It's painful. You will have, scars, whether physical or mental scars. Talk about the first 5 years sucking.
So this one is really important to me. A lot of times when people talk about the 5 years of suck, I point out I saved for 2 years. I lived in an apartment for 2 years to rent out the house to get the first duplex. And then it was another 2 years to get the second duplex. So in 4 years, I made 2 purchases.
Yep.
And there's a quote from Coach Carson that he was talking with somebody at BPCon about growing fast and what can we do to go faster. And Carson explained it, Coach, much more eloquently than I'm going to. So this is a butchered rendition of what I've heard. He said, imagine if you make a mistake in real estate. You don't know today. You don't know next week. You don't know next month. When you realize you made a mistake, it's been a month or 3 or longer.
Yeah.
So if you go fast, you can make a mistake 5 times before you register that it was a mistake. And now you've made it 5 times.
Yeah.
The way he put it was brilliant. I think I conveyed it. The 5 years of suck intentionally kind of should go slow. That's why lenders put roadblocks in place of your DTI or rental income on tax returns or something like that. So you can figure out the basics and see your mistakes and have time to fix them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Matt, what do you think? First 5 years suck?
Yeah, first 5 years suck. Anything worth building does. I think it dovetails into that point that I brought up before with that guy talking about his dad working to 75. Here was his exact response. Chad Swanson, this is for you, my buddy. My dad has purpose. He loves what he does and he enjoys his life. The goal in life isn't figuring out how to not work, but to find your purpose. That is when you find fulfillment and it gives meaning to each day. So that on its head, I generally agree with, but here's the issue. This was about a post about working and being able to retire early. So here's where I would add to that. I said, you're right. Working is way better than time with family and volunteering. No one's purpose is to work a long job that keeps them from their family and impacting others. If you were retired and were able to spend your time impacting others because all your needs were met, you wouldn't, because all your needs were met, you wouldn't get it. Clearly you don't. I do more than most workers. I make far bigger impact, and I don't focus on my needs at all.
Yeah.
I can focus on them reaching their goals and get more time as a dad. No one ever said on their deathbed, I wish I spent more time working because I love my job.
Yeah. Couldn't agree
So
more.
people that identify, and this is where it comes into the 5 years of suck, you're going to have to go through it unless you want to spend your life identifying as your purpose being this stupid W-2 job that you work. That is not your purpose.
Yeah.
Ask Zoob how awesome his life was when he finally reached the epiphany that that's what he did. That wasn't his purpose.
Yeah. Oh, amen.
Far more joyful person, right? Far more happy person.
Yeah. Yeah. Walk around on cloud nine. Once I realized I wasn't my job, right? I wrapped myself, I convinced myself that being elite at being somebody who ran go to market and took, products from whiteboards to $100 million, that wasn't who I was. It impacted like 7 people.
Yes.
Now you're chasing an impact that's it's thousands and will be tens of thousands of people. It's far more joyful and frankly a lot less stressful, right? I spend about 15 hours a week on this journey, and then I get a whole lot more time to do what I want and get healthy and all this other amazing things. So
people limited like Chad believe that what you do is who you are.
Yeah. No.
And that is not it. And that's what the 5 years of suck, when you start that, it helps bring out who you are, not just what you do. And that's where you identify.
Love that. Matt, this one's going to be for you. Again, this is the one that got me in the beginning that I did not do, right? I tried to be the single creator, solo, whatever in the beginning, investor. I didn't seek a network. I didn't think it was time. All the excuses in the world were wrong. I now believe that this would be something, if I focused on day one, would have accelerated our journey, probably drastically. But folks, you got to audit your network. And oh, by the way, I'll throw this last bit in. I consider your phone one of these people, because I think a lot of folks say things, but then they consume doomers and negativity. And I think doomers are evil, pure evil. So talk about the importance of auditing your network, Matt.
This is a good guy, nice guy thing.
Yes.
This is a good guy, nice guy thing. Like
I agree.
Dion and I, and you kind of identified it in that video that we did last week. Dion and I don't have a million friends.
Yep.
If something came up, you guys are in the top 10 list of people I would talk to.
Right.
Top 10. And quite frankly, that's a massive world for me. That's a massive world for me. There's a lot of business acquaintances. There's a lot of people I've done deals with. There's a lot of people I've done collaborations with. There's a lot of people I've had relationship with that worked for me, that I've worked for. They're not my network. They aren't. Right. They're the outer circle of the network. But that inner circle, that's what Dion makes me better at what I do. You make me better at what I do. The people it's selfish to a certain degree, but where it becomes unselfish is, how do I then in turn try and help make you better?
Yeah. And you do. Yep.
We try. Like that's what we owe each other. That's what we, we don't necessarily owe each other anything, but that's what the purpose of being in that network is. Is that I know that if I needed something, I know that I could call Dion and he'd fly out East Coast, no problem. I know that if he's in Thailand, I'm hoping it doesn't happen. But if he's in Thailand and some big thing comes up, like Millennial Mike or I are going to get a call and we're going to fix it or take care of it or whatever the issue is. And it's being able to, it's knowing that, military term, it's knowing that they've got your 6. And that's the most important thing.
Dion?
The audit your network thing, I think most people do this naturally. We filter our friendships without knowing it, but they do it without purpose. So you have people that you talk sports with. You have people that you talk work with. Yeah. You have people that you talk family with. Most people don't have somebody they can talk finance with and it's productive. So the audit your network is to make sure you're adding the people into your circle that can
Mhm.
impact you positively with your finances.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean you can't have your friends you talk sports with or
Right.
work with or family with, but add the ones that are going to help you with this focus.
Yeah, this is a big one for me because again, I just love being sort of clear. I didn't do this for 5 years, right? So I mean, think about this. I'm going through this by ourselves. It's just Olivia and I for the 5 years. We're in the 5 years of suck. We have eviction on our very first property. Never actually collect rent, and the fact that I didn't have people around me to say, or just to listen, it's shocking. And again, it's all because of Olivia. We kept going. I've been very clear about that because I was ready to give up. You just don't know the importance, right? If you're going to get fit, get around fit people. You want to become a millionaire, get around millionaires. And I love that purpose, right? It's with intention. And I don't think enough adults do this. And it's really funny to me that we gave this talk at Bigger Pockets. And again, half the questions I got when I got off stage were, how do I find friends? I don't, I'm an introvert, or, I'm an old, this, that, or the other. And I'm like, wow. Right. It didn't hit me until, the third time somebody brought it up that, this takes work,
Yeah.
building a network. So, all right, Dion, we're going to go to you for this one here. This is our event in Vegas. The Three Amigos are doing something special for the third year in a row. And again, this is about being around your tribe. You're going to make new friends. We have at least 15 millionaires. We got 6 hours of networking, lunch and dinner provided. Audience will drive the questions. Every speaker will take questions. And of course, this time we have 2 keynotes, Jason Hartman and Pace Morby. And as somebody who's now been at 3 events being a speaker, I can put in big, bold letters, not a single person will be selling from the stage, including me. So talk about the importance of this event, Dion, from your perspective.
Well, I'm going to make it selfishly a little personal.
Sure.
I strongly believe if it wasn't for this community and getting around people talking about this, like this in person, meeting you guys, getting to know you, I'd still be working.
Probably,
I have
yeah.
3 years of retirement under my belt because I was in the right circle of people, having the conversations, knowing other people were doing the same, looking at the numbers differently. And instead of thinking of the person who can fool themselves and say they're 75 and they enjoy their job and it's their purpose, I realize how sad a person's life if their purpose is something they have to be paid for. Now, you can monetize things, but how many times have all 3 of us done presentations for free or joined other people's communities? Like Matt, you've been in the multifamily strategies course and taught them. You don't get paid to be there. You're
No.
putting up your time to try to help people. That's
Sure.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be monetized, but you're not going to be 75 thinking, I have to do this Monday through Friday. I have to do this 10 hours a day or my life has no purpose. And that's what's going to happen in February. Coming out here and getting in a room full of people that have those side conversations, it can actually change your life.
No, and I couldn't agree more. Again, I think in-person events, obviously they went away for a long time during COVID. I think we've got to get off Zoom. We've got to shake the flesh, belly to belly kind of stuff. And if you really if you're a dreamer and you just know that there's something here, there is no better thing to do than go from dreamer to doer than get in a room with 300 other doers. You're not only going to be inspired, but you're going to have those side conversations and you're going to understand, that you can do it. And that's the key, right? When I put together the agenda, I always have a purpose of celebrating our community. We will have speakers from our community, Jared and Brandon, for example, and others. We're going to bring in some headliners like Hartman and Pace Morby. Then we're also going to, the intention here is we have 2 Gen Z. We've got a 25-year-old and a 28-year-old kind of leading off day 1 and day 2, right? If Gen Z can do it, today, you can do it. And this is a special event. Go get your tickets. They're going to sell out. And Matt?
I mean, and this isn't a slight on Bigger Pockets. They had a green room. Yeah. They had escorts. Sure. They had behind stage. That doesn't exist here. So, you are, there is,
you're in it.
You are in it. We are all investors in that room. Yep. That's it. We're all investors in that room. And so it is, Dion does a bunch of recordings and does a bunch of videos with people that attend the conference. I do a lot of stuff in the podcast room.
Yep.
Lunches, the dinner, they're all at tables where people are just asking questions. It happens all the time. And none of that happened at Bigger Pockets, unless it was creators that know other creators, where it was like, we had dinner with a bunch of guys that we already collab with. Right. And some new ones. But that's just not, that's something special about this event, because it's still small enough where it can be managed that way. Understanding the Bigger Pockets, it's tough to manage that way, because it's, almost 3,000 people.
To be very clear, we're 1/5 the size, maybe even 1/6. It's very different. Yeah. They deserve credit for what they do. We're just not that.
Absolutely.
We're not a 2,000.
It's just different. It's just different. That's all.
Not better, not worse.
It's like if you had a regional. It's just different.
It's just different. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. Let's see if I can actually make slideshow build for us, because this is where I just want to end on this version. So again, not everybody can make it to the event. They are costly, not only tickets, but you have travel and hotels and all of that. So I get it. I do think the best thing that we do, and the thing that I will be known for most in the next couple of years, is our school community. Again, 67 pennies a day, like-minded people. If you are a dreamer and you're excited about real estate, there's no better place to be than in a room, a virtual room with 450 other people going that way. I look forward to the day, frankly, we cross 500 and ultimately 1,000. I think that's where this is going to go. But Matt, talk about the beauty of school and the fact that more people need to be joining.
I mean, you're talking about building your network. Where are you going to find those people? You're talking about learning skills. Where are you going to find those people? You're talking about like-minded people. Where do you find those people? Yeah. Amazingly, you find them in the area that is that is teaching and talking about the thing that you're pursuing. So with, we even in the Lumberjack Landlord course, we have a small user group, but we talk about people going to the accountability groups that are there.
Yeah.
Jared runs a phenomenal group. There's Frank runs a phenomenal group. Like, these guys all run great groups that are great accountability partner pieces. And again, it's all community, and it's being able to share mindset and skill set and grow. And it's, if you don't celebrate your wins, and Zuber sucked at this.
Oh, I did.
If you don't celebrate your wins, then what's the point of the next one? You end up, 30 years down the road, and I mean, I've accomplished a lot, and I don't feel like I've actually won anything.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Dion?
So I want the people watching to picture two groups of people. So you're talking to two groups of people. You tell your friends who kayak, and you're in your kayaking group, and you go and you say, I'm thinking about buying a rental. If you do, or if you don't, they'll just say, oh, okay, well, you didn't like it. But if you're in a group of people who are trying to buy rentals or own rentals or have financially free through owning rentals, and you say, I want to buy a rental, telling people makes you more likely to do the thing you're talking about if they're doing the thing you're talking about.
Exactly.
So it isn't about being in groups of people. It's about, coming in there and talking about kayaking. You're probably not going to become a better kayaker, but you go into your group of kayakers, you will.
Exactly.
Do you want to be a better investor?
Right.
Yeah, I love that. Well, let's see if the technology actually allows me to build a slide, because I went on, and I don't think people realize it. Can you guys see the calendar? Just want to see if this is working.
No.
Stupid thing. So let's stop sharing. See, I knew this would let me down. All right.
It's technology.
It's technology. So you're just seeing me, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Only you and Dion.
Yeah. All right. So let's try this again. See, I knew this thing wouldn't allow me to build.
I think the tech guy from Caesar's Palace put your slide together today.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So this should be working, right? You see a map.
Yes.
Okay, but I don't want to show the map. So let's just do this. So behind the map, I moved it a little bit. There's a calendar. That's the first thing I want to highlight is there are 7 days a week. You have no excuses. You have sessions at 5 p.m., at noon, at as early as 6 a.m. On Monday, there's one that starts at 6 a.m. There's all different kind of groups. There's Ladies of ORAT, out-of-state investing, Gen Z. So back to the whole get around people. Don't just talk kayak with people that aren't kayaking. Get in the room with people doing this. So you've got 7 days a week accountability group. Find the one that's you. Find the one that fits your schedule. And, and I want to highlight, I join none of these. This is our community, our go-givers stepping up and saying, Michael, I want to help for an hour a week. I want to help for 90 minutes a week. And, Cody does the Gen Z one. Cody Davis doesn't need to do this. He's a 25-year-old multimillionaire, but he said, I want to do Saturday at 8 a.m. And that's the kind of people that we attract. So you guys don't understand. This is an accountability group, for, again, you're going to get the whole thing for 67 pennies a day. This is worth the price of admission by itself, right, Dion?
Actually, I'm super impressed that somebody 25 wants to get up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah. Amen.
That's super impressive. That speaks to who Cody is.
Yeah.
I mean, in a different group every day, your schedule could change. One of those will meet your schedule if it doesn't change.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. We'll go to this next one. We're going to close on the map last. Let's see if we can move this over. Well, the other thing I'm trying to show, let's see if I can move this. This is why the technology. So again, one of the things that you get inside the group is thousands of dollars in education for free. All you got to do is introduce yourself and be active, and all these things unlock. They're not charge ups. They're not upsells. This 10-day boot camp was $1,000. It's given away for free. Jason and his lovely wife, Jen, gave us something. Ty gave us something that was thousands of dollars. It's all there for you. All you have to do is join, introduce yourself, because I do gate a couple of these things at level 2 and level 3, which means you got to do like 5 posts and, heart 5 things just to show that you're active. And, thousands of dollars in education you can get for, $20. And if you want to join for a month and consume these and leave, so be it. But again, this is always building out. And again, no upsells. Matt?
I mean, one of the toughest things that I experienced in getting into the real estate game was that there were no resources. There was no community to have conversation. Everything was competition. Everything was competitors. And the cool thing about this is that it's not that. It's the exact opposite. It's all the tools that you need. It's all the people that you need to talk to. It's watching, people are going to be amazed that there's people that get into that community, and year 1, they do a little bit, and year 2, they do more, and year 3, they do a lot of it. And if they're still around, they're going to be like, I was in the same place as that person 3 years ago. Now they have 30 units and I have 4.
Yep.
And that would make them better at this than you. But they're there, and they're there and they participate, and they, will have a conversation. It is a very short list of the number of real estate investors I've ever talked to that basically either A, wouldn't have a conversation, or B, didn't share anything in the conversation that they had.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a pretty short list.
Yeah. We all realize very early on that there's more deals out there, and your win's not my loss. It's a very, we're all givers, but our community certainly stands out at the amount of giving. And then the last thing for me is this map, right? I get asked all the time, where are people? What's going on? We have, we have a SoCal group meeting this weekend on Sunday. There's, 49 people down there. And it's fun for me watching this thing fill out, because, when this functionality came out, we didn't have 500 people. We had 200. And now just watching this, and again, you could drill in, and yes, we have people around the world, but obviously we're dominated in the United States. Dion, what do you think of this?
I think it's pretty cool to have your local meetups on a map like that, so you can see who's connecting and where. That's huge.
Yeah. So again, folks, these are all just basic functionality. There's a lot more inside school. Again, one of the things that I got wrong and why I keep harping on this is where I should have started. Again, I want to shout out Kim Bishop. We all know Kim. She sent me a note the other day. I'll just read it. And she says, idea for an ORAT discussion topic. How do you overcome fear of growing from 1 rental to 2? With 1 rental, if it were vacant, I could still cover the costs on my own. But 2 mortgages I could not cover, and that scares me. I realize this fear is holding me back from taking the next step. I replied with, obviously, great idea. But then I said, curious, have you joined school? Would love to see how my community responds to this. And the reason I said that is I think it's almost unfair, for example, for the 3 of us to kind of give our answer being 25 years into this. Deanne always says we forget what it's like in the beginning. But those are the kind of questions that you should ask in school, right? Because we have other people there. They're investors. And sometimes you're ahead of people and sometimes you're not, right? Kim could post that and she has 1 And somebody could reply that as 0 and basically says, yeah, that scares me too. How'd you get to 1? This is why you have to be in school, right? Some folks, you, all three of us are go-givers. And I have no question that 40 to 50 people reach out to each of us individually a week, and we do our best to respond.
We try.
But that's going to be, that scale is going to break soon if it hasn't broken already, because I'm sure I don't reply to everything I should at this time. Sure. But if you're in school, you've got 450, almost 500 people that will reply, right? The forums are very active. So, Kim, I don't know if you're in school. I should have looked it up, but I joined school, asked that question. Matt, what do you think?
I mean, again, it's people at the same, you'll find your people that are at the same point in the journey that you are. Mm-hmm. And that's typically very valuable. That's what we do about boot camp. We want 15 people all in the room, all hearing each other's struggles, all hearing each other's challenges, and all hearing the solutions of then how to deal with that. Yeah. That's why I really poo-poo the, one-on-one, big time, big ticket stuff. I much rather do, 1-on-10, 1-on-15, listen, take all the problems, solve all the problems, create strategy around how they either A, don't need to come up, or B, if they do, this is how you resolve them. Much rather spend my time there. We're about to start another boot camp. It's our 6th one. Nice. And again, we keep them small. It's, 15, 18 people tops. That way everybody gets heard every single class with what they're dealing with, and we can address the problem.
Yeah. Love that. Well, guys, I appreciate you allowing me to go through this. This was a point of passion for me for the last 3 months, maybe 4 months. I do think getting wealthy is as simple as 1, 2, 3. It's math and time, right? Mm-hmm. Don't overcomplicate it. But the big thing for me is you got to get around other people, right? Dion's analogy of the kayak is perfect. You're interested in kayaking. Why are you talking to non-kayakers? You're not going to get better. You've got to be purposely in the room and network with them. I think we put on the best 2 things, one virtual, which is school, which is every day. And then once a year, we get together for almost what feels like a family reunion. Mm-hmm. Dion, closing thoughts, and how can people find you?
Well, they can find me in Vegas the week before the 14th and 15th for the Wednesday night and Thursday night midnight Denny's meetups, which will be on the Strip. So it's populated. And
Good
safe.
Call. Good call.
Yes. And I'm really looking forward to that. That's the event.
So people are asking me all the time, where should you stay? If you're coming in early, and many of you should, stay on the Strip so you can go to the midnight meetups and you can walk there.
And a tip if you stay on the Strip is find out how Matt gets his really good rates at Excalibur. But if you stay at a place like the Treasure Island, there is no resort fee, so you can actually save a bunch of money staying there. It's one of the only ones.
Isn't Treasure Island gone?
No, they stopped doing the show, but Treasure Island was still. I don't know. I just know they don't charge a resort fee.
Got it. Okay. All right. My bad.
If they're gone,
I forgot one that was just torn down. Maybe. Oh, that was Mirage. My bad.
No, Mirage is becoming the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. My bad. So Treasure Island is still there. My bad.
And you can find me on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, where I do a live stream every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific that lasts as long as the questions do.
Very cool. Matt, same question.
Looking forward to seeing everybody in Vegas. It's only a few months away. We'll all hopefully be mostly done our taxes by then. Please God.
No chance. There's no chance my taxes are done in February.
We're always really close to that. That's always the goal.
Really? Wow. I don't even think I've started until March.
Oh yeah.
My taxes will be done probably January 20th.
Exactly.
Because it'll take me an afternoon.
Disgust me. You guys disgust
me. Ours will be done usually. We're right around that time. But you couldn't think of a more romantic thing than finding a way to get out of the rat race, spend more time with your family. So it's a cool holiday weekend. Extend it a little bit. That's what we're doing. Yeah. We're extending on the front side. We're extending on the back side. So we're going to make it a family thing and come hang out, bring the kids, and they have more indoor parks than you could possibly fathom.
Oh, yeah.
That are a lot of fun to take. Yeah. Vegas is not an adult playground only anymore. They've got a ton of stuff for kids. There's a lot of great community there. And hopefully we'll see people early. And then 9 p.m. Thursday nights Eastern time is when I will do my live stream. And just like Dion, we go till the questions end. And this is the focus that I got from BPCon was being far more intentional about recognizing that I want to help more people, and that means getting on that BP stage. So that's what the goal is for the next 6 months, is to get on BP.
Oh, I like it. I will find a way to work with Scott Trentz to see if I can't influence
Awesome.
as I know Dion will as well.
Yeah.
My
you guys are
closing
great.
thoughts. Yeah, my closing thoughts here, folks, is I do think all of you can get rich or wealthy, depending on which variable you want to use. Everything we said here is true. The most important thing is getting around the right people. You've got to change your circle, your network on purpose. Watch what you do with your phone. I think this is the poison that a lot of you are consuming. You got to block that out. You can change your algorithm in 3 days. I've done it. And a couple of other things. Mark, the financial firefighter, someone we all know and love. He is still willing to rebate you the cost of 1 month of school. So if you want to try before you buy, you can sign up. Reach out to Mark, the financial firefighter, to reach out how he can help you do that. And I hope to see all of you in Vegas. Again, it is Valentine's weekend. I call it President's Day weekend. So bring your significant other. Make this an event that you do together. And then, like you say, stay before, stay after. Lots of things for couples to do, whether you have kids or not. And again, Vegas in February is actually really nice. Right, the weather is comfortable. You're not burning to death like it's August. So, guys, I appreciate you. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk again.
Thanks, boys.
Ciao.